Power transformer arrived in the mail today. Let's check it out. Good afternoon, YouTube. It is 2:58 now on this Monday. Before you can see a power transformer wire color code that I think I'm going to try to figure out the wiring of this transformer that I got in the mail just a few minutes ago. Now, according to this here, primary leads black, and if it's tapped, the common is black, the end is black red. Now I've got that coming out of here, so I've got a black and a black red right there. And also coming out of the same hole I have two more leads, and I'm assuming these are the taps off of that primary. One is green, one is green yellow. And if we look down here, green and green yellow are a filament winding, and that's the way it's supposed to work. So that is that they're supposed to have two filament windings. So now on the high voltage side, if we look here, we have red, yellow, and a rectifier filament winding is yellow, center tap is yellow blue, filament winding is green, green yellow, filament winding is brown, brown yellow, filament winding is slate and slate yellow. Now what I have here is some oddballs. I'm going to call that red and brown right there. Now we're not looking at anything but these two here. Let's get the camera pointed at what we're supposed to be pointed at. Oh, tighten up the wrong thing. There we go. Alright, so red, where's my red? Red is right there. And I'm going to call this brown because I think that's what it is. Also I have on this, now coming out of this hole, I don't know if you can see that, is three more wires. Now one is what I'm going to call brown and yellow. The other one is red and yellow. And the other one is red and yellow. So my guess on this would be these two being filaments. It's supposed to have two filament leads coming out of this transformer, and I'm going to say this is the center tap for the high voltage. I would guess, it'd be my guess, that I don't know which is which, but we can find out. That's what we're about to do. First thing I'm going to ohm out here is the filament, or not the filament, the primary, the red and the black, or the red, black, and the black, I should say. These two here. See what these come out to be. Oops. And we have 6.6 on those. I'm going to write that down. So black and black red. 6.6 ohms. Get that a 6. There we go. So that's that. Now the other ones, that I think are filaments, green and green yellow. Yes. All right. The green and yellow is hooked up, and the green is almost hooked up. Alright, we have 0.5 on those. So now let me mark those off here, green and green yellow. 0.5 ohms. Alright. Now let's go to the secondary side. I'm going to try the red and the brown because that's what I was, although I don't have a brown. I have a red and red yellow. I'm saying these may be the filaments, is what I'm saying. So if they come out to be 0.5, we can be pretty much assured they are a filament. If they come out to nothing, which they do, nothing. Alright, there is no connection between the brown and the red. So let's try the red as the, let's try these two. The brown and the brown yellow. I'm going to have to redo that one. There's the brown yellow. And there's the brown. Ah! I have 0.5. I'm going to call those the other filaments. Almost positively. Let me mark those out. Brown and brown yellow. 0.5. Alright, there's that. Now that leaves just 3 more left, which has to be the high voltage windings. And let's see what we can find out with those. We have a long, oops, that was that filament. I need to tie these together or something. These short ones here are the ones that are obviously, I'm going to say these are the, I'm going to say that's the center tap, the red one, and the striped ones are the outside ends. That's just my guess. Unless these two are the ends and this is in the middle. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Let's put these two on the tester first. The 2 striped ones that are left. And we do have some ohmage. We have 70.2 ohms between the 2 striped ones. And let's see, high voltage, we have 2 red and yellows, which is supposed to be the center tap, but you know, between 2, 70.2. So that's obviously an indication that that is a higher voltage winding because of the increased, what do you call it? Now, one of these, between one of these and the red one should be smaller, and same thing for the other one, so let's try that. Uh-oh, 77. That's not right. 77.6. So that means, let's try the other one. Let's try these two. I was thinking maybe these are the axle ends. So if they're higher, they probably are. Aha! There we go. 147.7. And that's between the red and the red yellow. Red and red yellow. So let's mark that out. Between the red yellow is 147.6 ohms. And between there's another one that has to be the center then. So from one end should be the 70 something. Let's see if we got that. 77.6. And from this end to the center should be about the same. 70.2. So that is in the middle. It's not quite exactly, but it is in the middle. And I'm going to call that middle one, I don't know what, but it's obviously not really red and yellow. Let me look at it a little closer and see. Hang on, I'll be right back. Alright, what I'm going to do here is call this red and white, and it's obviously not as shaded as that is, so we're going to call this red and white and red for the ends of the high voltage winding, those two right there, and this red and yellow as the center tap. So that's the way we're going to do that. So that's got them pretty much identified, I do believe. Next step is some testing, and for that I'm going to be hooking up my VAC and monitoring the voltage. Mainly what I'm interested in is getting the high voltage tested. That's my main purpose for this transformer, is the high voltage, and I want to make sure I have the correct voltages on here. And Bob's just not gonna hush today. He just woke up from his nap, so that should tell you something. He's perceptive, I'll say that. He asked me, what are you trying to do that I'm interfering with? Good old Bob. Alright, now, like I said, I don't want to short out anything, so I want to make sure I've got this hooked up exactly the way it's supposed to be. You guys are not going to be able to see it, but I will call out the voltages to you. I think maybe if I put this down enough or over, you'll see what's going into it, and then I can call out the other voltage. So that we're down all the way here. Now we have nothing going in. I have nothing coming out. Of course, I'm on the wrong thing. There's AC. Take a minute to stabilize. And like I said, this should be the high voltage winding, so I should go up pretty quick. We'll go up to 10 volts, roughly. At 10 volts, I have 48 on the windings that I am monitoring, the red and the red-white. Let's go on up. It's 20, let's go 25, 30 volts. 132 now on the high voltage windings. Let's go on up a little bit more. Okay, with 50 volts on there, I have 220 coming out. That's about half, roughly half of what we should get. So we'll go on up. So at 117, we should have 480. No current draw, that's good. There's 90. Have 394 volts now on the high voltage. And we do have a little current draw. I guess that's the transformer, I'm guessing. Okay, there's 117. I have 512, 513 on the high voltage. So I'd say we're getting everything we're supposed to get out of that, I do believe. So we're going to go over here and switch off to the... oops, I don't want them to short. Switch over to the other and see if we get half that. And there it is, 256. I would say that's a good indication that we got a center tap right there. And I'm happy with that. And we're going to shut her down. I don't like working with that much voltage. Just sort of sitting there at my fingertips. And we are completely shut down. And we're good. Now I would like to check the, at the same time, check these filament windings that I think are filament windings. That would be acceptable to do. So let me put some clip leads on there. Again, these are the filaments from the primary side. Alright, there we go. We're hot again. And go up to, I can turn down this to 20 volts, we'll say. I've got 20 volts there. I've got 1.25 on the filament winding. On 50 volts, I've got 3.3 volts. On the 78, 80 volts, I've got 4.89. I'd say it's on track to be exactly what it's supposed to be. Given the fact that I can't get that. There it is. Oops, almost. That's close enough. 116.5, 7.07 on that one. So while I've got this open, let me go ahead and do this. Now that would make sense. 6.3 is going to draw down the thing a little bit, so everything should be copacetic. Right there. And get this one over here if I can. Get something else out of the way. There we go, 7.07. So again, those are the two. I had it mapped out right. How about that? That's different. Okay, let me turn this down again. So we are clear on the mapping of the transformer leads, and they all came out working good. So that's that. Happy about that. Always happy when something works. That's excellent. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. Very happy indeed. Like I said, Bob did send his stuff. I have the two MOSFET, I think. I don't know if they're MOSFETs, but they're FETs, power FETs. I have two Zener diodes. I have two BC, whatever those were. I can't even think of what they are. And I have two trim pots. So there is all I need for, except for the capacitor. And I'm pretty sure I don't have anything that large, that heavy, that whatever you want to call it, to do that. So I'm going to have to wait on that, which is a bummer. I wanted to get this going. I'd like to do this little demo. There was a suggestion of using the Heathkit signal tracer as the B+ for this demo. I'm not really sure that would work either, although I do have it handy here. Now I do know there's a tap for the output transformer. I don't know that that would give me what I want. I could look at the schematic, I guess, and see. But I think that's just meant for testing speakers or output. I think, in other words, you can take your B+ lead and your plate lead here and hook that up, and from your audio output tube, and test the transformer. In other words, use this as your output transformer, and it will come out the speaker, I believe is the way that works. So I don't think you can actually, I don't know for sure, but it may. I'd have to look at the I don't have to look at the schematic to find out how that's wired, but I always took that as a test point for, like I said, you could just hook your stuff up to it, and then in other words, hook your B+ from the power supply in here and connect that to your plate, and I think that should give you what you need as far as output transformers go. And then, you know, obviously you would control the volume from the receiver that you were testing, stuff like that. I think that's the way that works. Again, I can't be sure without looking at the schematic, but I don't have it here in front of me. So anywho, now it's a possibility, I suppose, that you might have the B+ there if that's the case. I think with it off you would do that, and if it was on, maybe the B+ is at that point. I don't know. I don't know. So we'd have to look at the schematic and see, but that's a good idea. So, alright, like I said, this is going to wrap this up. I just wanted to basically test the transformer to make sure everything was hunky-dory with it. Copacetic, whatever you want to call it. Bob let me know that he wants me to get back on this, the simple AM+. And I do have, for him, I do have, I think he forgot I sent him a picture of this, but I do have all the resistors he sent in. I have the trim pot in. I don't have all the rest, obviously, because I was in a hurry just to do what I was doing. And here is the BDST that I built. This is my prototype from the boards he sent. This is completely wired except for the switch and of course the speaker, but that's ready to go too, so that should be a good one. I'm using that to do my work on the I'm trying to build my prototype thing here, so with the cardboard like I mentioned before, so that I can go ahead and put that in there, and yeah, it comes out pretty good. So I'm happy about that, and like I said, that's what I was doing there. So anyway, that was all last week, before I got sick. So anywho, that's that. Again, you guys have a wonderful day. It is 3 something now in the afternoon, 3:26. You guys have a pleasant day. Thanks for watching, and we will see ya.